Well, let's make my last pumpkin beer review, probably, of the year. A quick one, because I got set up and then the rain started. Pour fast, pour fast, pour fast. Hey, welcome to another episode of Chewing the Brew. So this is Elysian's Great Pumpkin Imperial Ale, which they claim is the first Imperial pumpkin ale. Imperial being an ABV above 8%, and this clocks in at 8.4, so it just comes in. They also claim it is award-winning, though I did not look to see which awards it says it claims to have won. I was pretty happy with their Night Owl. That was a very good pumpkin ale. And this has very similar aromas as I poured it. So they do claim there's pumpkin in this. It's not simply a pumpkin spice ale, it is a pumpkin ale, but they also include the spices, packed with pumpkin, fall spices, and a rich blend of specialty malts, right? So I'm expecting maltiness, though given the sweetness of the spices, I'm not sure if the malt is necessarily gonna play a big role. The sweetness it brings might simply feel like more of the malts, but it might prove me wrong. It does smell different than the Night Owl. And forgive me if I continue to make comparisons to Night Owl. That was a good beer by the same brand. However, this smells more like a spiced apple cider with an extra bit of pumpkin-y goodness to it rather than a full-on pumpkin pie, which is what Night Owl smelled like. Yeah, they got the nutmeg and the cloves. And interesting, something else in there. It's kind of vegetable. I'm not gonna say it's pumpkin per se, though it might be. When I shake it up, when I stir it up, there's something in addition to simply the spices that's showing up. It's a squash-like flavor or aroma, but it's not the kind of earthy gourd. It's more squash than gourd. I guess all gourds are squashes, but not all squashes are gourds. I don't know how that works. The aromas are a bit richer than the Night Owl as well, which is probably in line with a spiced apple cider kind of aroma anyways. Oh, banana. Why is there banana in here? I mean, it's not bad. It's good. First off, I was expecting it to be sweeter, and it's a good thing it's not. Being an Imperial beer, being a spiced ale, it could certainly overblow the sweetness, but this stops well short. And there's kind of a coffee-like bitter finish, which is really nice, especially given that while it does hold back from going full sweet, there's still definitely sweetness to it. That bitterness is very welcome. But there's a brightness to the sweet that it does open with. Perhaps it's the combination of the nutmeg aroma flavors now, and kind of the little bit of alcohol there. Yeah, there's an alcohol burn, and the pumpkin and the sweetness. There's kind of a brightness there that altogether kind of reads a bit like banana bread. So you're getting this weird amalgam of a slightly darker, earthier banana bread. Nothing wrong with that. Perhaps not what you expect when you're thinking pumpkin ale. Yeah, be that as it may. The spices, once again, are apple cider spices. That bitterness comes in really fast, and it almost feels like it starts with an alcohol burn, and then it transitions to this kind of dark, earthy, almost coffee, but not quite. It's like a metallic coffee, so it's like some coffee and some tannins together. that are producing this finish. I'm assuming that's the hops that are involved there. I know very little about which hops make which flavor, except I know citra hops taste like citrus. So I couldn't even begin to identify the hops. Perhaps Chinook, because something reminds me of a Chinook beer I had recently that had a similar kind of dark bite to it, but I'm probably wrong. Yeah, so this is an interesting beer. I am enjoying it. The things I appreciated about it, it doesn't go full Monty on the sweetness. It holds back that sweetness. There's some complexity, some variety to the sweetness that just gives this beer more nuance, a broader field of flavors than simply sweet and pumpkin. I'm not necessarily picking up the pumpkin per se. I would imagine that as it warms, that might become more apparent. But I appreciate the complexity of the sweetness. The spiciness, the spices involved are also not super dominant, which is also nice. So it doesn't just feel like the bigger brother or the stronger brother of Night Owl. It's clearly a different beer. What pumpkin there is there? Oh, yeah, now I'm tasting the pumpkin. As I exhale, as I'm retro breathing, as this is called, it's more like straight up pumpkin bread. So yeah, and I love pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread is so good, especially since my wife buys the sugar pumpkins or grows them sometimes, and then like steams those or roasts those and purees them and turns that into pumpkin bread rather than buying a can of Libby's. I like pumpkin bread, and so a beer that tastes the second time like pumpkin bread is a good beer in my book. Everything's pretty well balanced. There's a lot of variety. It's not a one-note wonder. There's some journey that you go on as you drink this, and that's good, and I enjoy it. I'm going to give this 3 stars out of 4. It's a good beer. Anyways, this is me, Matthew. I have been drinking in the rain and enjoying Elysian's Great Pumpkin. We're all like Linus, waiting for the great pumpkin to arise over the pumpkin patch. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.